From the Mac of All Trades studio in Fairport. And driven by Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, it's Billified, the Bill Moran Podcast.
Well, hello and welcome. Thanks for getting your pot on. Thanks for telling a friend. That's how we spread the word about the pirate ship. Oh, like us on YouTube. You can follow us at Billified, at Billified_pod on Instagram, all over social media. Find our videos. Follow us. It's a depressing day, Danny. Light rain.
Yeah, I haven't seen the sun. I think it made a cameo earlier this week, but that was it.
Championship Sunday.
Oh, yeah, this is my favorite NFL Sunday of the year.
It is?
Oh, even more than the Super Bowl.
This is a depressing day.
You realize there's no football left in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And next week you get a taste of no football.
Right.
So you have to
it's over.
You have to talk to your wife and stuff.
It's over. It's over. Saturday Night Live did a whole piece on
did
this.
they?
Oh, yeah. It is their cold open.
You're watching the AFC Championship on CBS.
Championship between the Baltimore Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm Jim Nantz alongside Tony Romo. And a quick shout out to one of our sponsors. Do you love to shake, rattle, and roll? Because you'll do all three on a Boeing 737 MAX 9. Boeing, because that's the sound it makes when the screws fly off. Tony, are you excited for today's matchup?
Oh, without a doubt, Jim. We've got two generational talents at quarterback, two elite defenses. I expect this to be an all-out battle for the next 3 hours. And after that, it's all over.
All over?
Football. After today, it's done.
Well, there's still the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but that's not real football. Super Bowl is for commercials and Usher and people who never watch football asking how many points a touchdown is worth. Today's the last real football day for just us guys.
Tony, are you okay, bud?
Nah, not really.
All right, well, let's throw it over to James Brown in our halftime crew for a sneak peek at what's ahead.
Thanks, Jim. I'm here with Phil Simms, Bill Cower, and Nate Burleson. And we were just listening to what Tony said and really got us thinking.
Yeah, I'm realizing that after this game ends, there's just nothing. What are men supposed to do on Sundays now? Just go to their friends' houses for no reason?
Without football, what are we going to talk about? I mean, does anyone have anything remotely interesting or insightful to say?
I wish, instead of salt, the ocean was full of sugar.
Oh, Jesus, we're doomed.
Well, come on now. Don't forget, we still got the Pro Bowl coming up.
Jim, I have been covering football for 30 years, and I have never once watched the Pro Bowl.
You know, this isn't just about us. America needs football. It's
I mean, they hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
I mean, have they not?
Yeah, like what do we do?
What do we do?
What do we do?
What? Yeah, and it is a
Not
weird.
only like Race and Randy, where they could just go immediately into NASCAR season.
Right. It almost is. You need that. February's a weird month.
Right. So,
Right? You get into March, you get March Madness again, you start getting the feeling of spring, you want to get back outside, you're right, you start, maybe now you're doing some outdoor activities. But it's this weird lull. It's a real depression, I'm telling you.
Yeah, so it's funny because since the NFL has, the last 5-10 years, has become this behemoth and they've embraced gambling.
Yes.
The NFL is now not only the most popular sport in America, but it's the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th most popular sport. After that, maybe it's the NBA, maybe it's baseball, maybe it's college basketball if it's March, but it's all seasonal, right? So my wife and I got married the week after the Super Bowl 2 years ago. And the biggest story that day, as I'm waiting for my wife, we're getting ready to go get married. The biggest story that day was an argument between two coaches after a college basketball game, and they milked this for 3 days. That's how impactful football is, because they're like, all right, we got nothing to talk about. Hey, let's examine this argument between Michigan and Wisconsin, their head coaches. That's how bad it is.
Yeah. So
We've now been conditioned that
Yes.
football is the only thing we
It's
care
like
about.
the only thing
The
here.
only thing everyone still watches.
Right.
Especially live.
No, watch this.
There's no other live TV that's even remotely watchable.
Well, thank God CBS still has Blue Bloods, the number one drama in every dentist office.
Blue Bloods now in its, final season? Now they're taking Blue Bloods from us too?
Well, what the hell are they even replacing it with?
Oh my God, so help me, Todd? What is that?
It sounds damn awful.
People are getting upset about Barbie getting snubbed. What about Yellowstone? 0 Emmy nominations?
Yellowstone is our Barbie.
And they go on from there. I mean, it was a cute open, but I go so relatable for so many people when you think about it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm even thinking to myself, I've got stuff to do, right? We're going to go to a friend's house and watch the Chiefs-Ravens game just for the AFC thing. And then after that, the Lions, and I am very interested in the Lions, and I want to say, but I go, I got shit to do.
Yeah, I know.
I got shit to do. I'm not going to invest. I'll have it on, but I'm not going to be watching.
Mm-hmm. Right, in case something happens.
Yeah, I mean, something happens.
Yeah, but usually in the NFC
I work slower when the TV's on. Yeah, I mean, I work slower when that happens. But it's a very strange thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, oh gosh, have you seen because we watch so much football, we're subjected to the commercials about CBS coming back on February 20th or whatever with all their new shows.
Yes.
Which used to be in September, but there was a writer's strike and an actor's strike,
right.
so now everything's
and now
pushed
they
back.
do mid-season replacements
and
anyway.
the shows look awful.
Yeah.
I mean, they were my wife, we were watching Yellowstone because we're trying to get into Yellowstone. She loves it. I think I'll say my opinion for later. But the point is, though, is that they had to put Yellowstone, a show that's already been out for several years, on CBS to replace programming because they couldn't replace the programming.
Right.
That's how it's getting. Now it's just there's so much garbage out there. The NFL's they're right, is the only thing worth watching. And if you're not a football fan, I don't know what you watch.
Well,
you probably watch like politics and stuff.
Reality TV, maybe.
But even that stuff
but Netflix movies, Netflix shows. There's a lot of things that we're not aware of.
Right.
You know, we're just not aware of.
Did you hear what David Chase said to HBO, or HBO said to David Chase?
No.
They asked David Chase. They
bring back Sopranos.
David Chase is the creator of The Sopranos, and they asked, and they signed him to a futures deal after The Many Saints of Newark, the prequel movie.
Okay.
And they recently asked David Chase, "Is there going to be more Sopranos projects?" He said no. The reason why is because HBO asked him to dumb his writing down because the audience doesn't understand the plot lines. Because The Sopranos was such a great show, nobody can follow it. So we have to dumb. And he's like, I'm not dumbing it down. And I told my wife last night, I go, yeah, this is just like a watered down Sopranos. It's bad. I go, it's quippy dialogue and it's not realistic. And by the way, the Sopranos had uplifting moments and funny moments. There's nothing funny about these dramas. Nothing.
People love it.
People
love it. I have not watched
sick.
one episode, but and a lot of people love it. So if you're a Bills fan, not a lot to talk about, right? Other than the season's over, what's next? Right. They packed up their locker. However, there was a lot of offshoots of pop culture moments from that Bills game involving Taylor Swift and the Kelce brothers. Mm-hmm. And they have their podcast. What's it called? Higher or something?
I don't know. I don't listen to it.
But I haven't really listened to it
either. I'm tired of the Kelces. I'm tired of the Watts. Can't everybody be like the Ripkins or the Boses, just quiet brothers, just show up, do their job, and leave everybody alone?
This one's gotten cute because, he's with her, and then we had, what's his name out, and he went out and took his shirt off, but he was out in the parking lot. He tailgated. I mean, that is cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
I'll
give you that.
I would love to have been there. But listen to this story from our local ABC affiliate. This is
saying they'd like to see it as a painting. Well, one native was up for the challenge. Check out Julia Madalena's masterpiece here. She's a Fairport graduate and now a professional artist working in Michigan. She's hoping the Kelce family sees her beautiful work here and reaches out so she can give it to them.
Yeah, I mean, you got to see it. It was really quite impressive. It's him, like with his shirt off, back arched, yelling into the heavens, and he's right in front of the suite. She did a great job.
Hey, 90% of life is showing up, man. If you could capitalize on that opportunity, Go ahead, man.
What moment would you want painted of you, captured? Is there anything?
Of me?
It would be weird to
one.
walk into someone's house.
Not one.
And see an oil painting of them. Wouldn't that be weird?
Maybe my wife and I getting married, but that's about it.
Okay.
But nothing else. I have not accomplished anything worth a painting.
Have you ever walked into?
Nor will I.
Have you ever walked into someone's house and seen artwork that was a little odd to you?
Yeah.
You have.
Oh yeah.
What was the artwork?
Dated a girl once, one date. She had me over for homemade pasta and sauce, and she goes, "You gotta try my sauce." Oh, okay. She knows how to cook. Great. Go to her house. She's got a son, but there were no pictures of the son. There were pictures of her all over the house. Like she was a narcissist.
Wow.
She like had pictures of herself like in these.
But without the kid?
In these. Yeah, the kid's nowhere to be found. Like, don't you have a son? Yeah, about 10.
About 10.
So I'm sure there's a lot of school pictures he could have taken. No, all the pictures were of her in the house.
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, we're not. This is not going to go well. I'm like, yeah, I'm done.
My parents, had a very odd piece of artwork in the living room. It was like prominently displayed, big. It was just big. It was like a picture, but a 3D picture was a wood carving of Mother Mary breastfeeding Jesus. I'm not kidding. It was a wood carving, 3D. It was big.
Okay.
And I wish I don't have, because my parents, the original house burned down, so everything's gone. I wish I had some photo somewhere of that.
The woodwork.
Of the woodwork. And I know that, I swear they must have done it, like, it must have been their way, because I think my grandparents and everybody were very uncomfortable with it. It must have been their way of being, like, rebellious. I don't know. I have no idea, but it was a 3D carving of the baby Jesus sucking on the teat of Mary. That's what it was.
I don't know where to go with that.
There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. What do you mean where to go with it? There's nowhere to go. That was it. But that's what.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a wood carving. So like 3D. So a big, and it was. It would be, it took up most of the wall. Well, it took up most of this one wall. Like you would walk in the living room. Right? And you would sit on the couch and you'd look to your left and there was the wall, the rest of the wall after the entrance, and there was the wood carving of Jesus.
Wow, okay.
It's
a weird one,
that's
like
right?
something you base a sitcom episode around. It was the wood. You go to the in-laws' house for the first time, and you kind of like and you see the wood. You can't stop looking at the wood carving of Mary feeding Jesus.
Right. Now,
and then of all the thoughts that come after that.
I have. There was a. You mentioned the pictures that this woman had of just herself and not her kid.
Yeah.
I know somebody who uncovered that their parents were having an affair, that their mom was having an affair. Okay.
Okay.
Now I want you to picture this. Okay. I want you to imagine, if you could, you're going to a high school party. Now, I know you probably didn't party a lot in high school. I don't think you did.
No.
But I want you to think of maybe you can go back to a movie like Risky Business, or better yet, I think there was a show that had a big impact on your life that you could relate to, 90210.
Okay.
Okay? And I want you to think of like a high school party they would have.
Yeah.
All right. So those were the high school parties. Your best friend's parents are divorced. Dad's going out of town. He leaves Friday morning. Everybody's going to go over Friday night to your best friend's dad's house. It's going to be a party, And you've had a tough week. Biology teacher's been up your ass all week, right? You've been dissecting the pig. All of a sudden, your friend Bill took one of the pig's hearts and hung it in your locker.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did. I did do that in high school. And then, your jacket has smelled like formaldehyde all week long. Yeah. You really had it. You're looking forward to this party, Daddy. You're looking forward to the party. You go there, and there's this cute girl from your biology class. She starts talking to you. You guys are hitting it off. She's had some concoction made of every bottle that's in the liquor cabinet poured into a punch bowl. She's feeling a little wobbly, and she says to you, have you seen upstairs? And you think, here's my chance. Right. She takes you by the hand, and she walks you upstairs. All of a sudden, you go into the dad's bedroom, and... the light, as you turn on the light, You look to your left, and there in a frame on the dresser is a picture of your mom.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
This happened?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh. Oh.
Could you imagine?
No.
Could you imagine?
No.
Yeah. True story.
Now, they're divorced, but your mom isn't.
No.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your mom isn't.
Oh, yeah.
The guy's.
This happened to a friend of yours.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. He found out his mother was having an affair because there's a framed picture of his mother at this girl's house.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. That's horrible. That's like years of psychotherapy. Horrible. How do you get over that? And then what do? Do you go back and say, hey, Ma?
I don't know exactly what happened, but Mom and Dad did get divorced, and Mom ended up with that guy.
Do you try to extort your mother?
It's a good question. I think it's something that you could probably always hold over her head.
I was over at the Henderson's house. You know Mr. Henderson, right? Oh, man, Henderson, he's got his daughter, right?
I think it came out. Okay. And I think, like, there was no evidence. Like, this mom kept it down. I mean, that was on lockdown. There was no...
Except for the photo.
Well, who would ever think that you would see the photo? Right? The man...
At the same time, though,
clearly loved her.
Yeah.
And really loved her, and probably, but, you know, they were biding their time. Maybe they were talking at some point she was going to leave. Well, this ended it. They got together. They're still together.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, they're still together. So...
gosh.
No.
What if you're a friend of the person who's like, let's say it's your friend's mom in that picture. What do you go to tell them? Bro, you got to see this. Bro, we got to talk, man.
Yeah.
I think your mom.
I don't know.
Is playing.
I don't know. It depends, because I don't know if I was that. I'm not very mature now. I have a lot of things. I'm not in certain situations, and I don't mean that to be. I don't mean that in like juvenile jokes and that sort of thing. But there is a. In certain situations, I think, like, emotionally, I'm still childish. Like, I'll be like, yeah, I'll show them kind of thing, which is a childish way to be. So I don't know that I would have the maturity to even know. I think I'd be frozen. I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't know what to do. I don't even know. You know what? I wonder if it would even register to me. Like, hey, man, I might innocently say, hey, man, I was over at Dan's house and I saw a picture of your mom. But I mean,
I would probably go to my father and mother.
Yeah, well,
hey, Mom, I need some Dad. I need not Mom, but Dad. I need some counseling. Because Mom just went on, like advice.
Yeah.
Say and I explained the scenario. My father would probably be like, "Hey, listen, you don't say a word. You don't say a word.
Well, you don't want to get involved in somebody's business, and you don't want to ruin stuff. I mean, this obviously broke up a family, but it wasn't the person finding the picture, and it wasn't that. Clearly, the mom wasn't satisfied in this relationship, found somebody else that enjoyed spending time with that person. I have a hard time as I've gotten older if love is the one pure thing, right, that comes from source or God or whatever, then how can it be bad? Even if, you know what I mean? And if we think of all of us at some point in our lives, we were in love with somebody and then it didn't work out and we moved on. I think there's a right way and a wrong way. And this is certainly one that, at least societal-wise, it's not right. And it doesn't feel good. And, I guess if you're sneaking around, you probably shouldn't be. But I can't really pass judgment on it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can't I don't know what it was like. I don't know what was missing.
Well, in my eyes, at 17 years old, 16 years old, I am passing judgment on it.
Oh, sure.
With my
upbringing.
I
got that. Yeah.
I just wouldn't know what the next step is. So that's where I'd ask my father. It'd be like, hey, look, he'd probably say, mind your own business.
Yeah.
But here's the problem with minding your own business. It's eating away at the back of your mind.
Sure it is.
Every time you see the guy at school, every time
hey, man, your mom's so hot, she's in some other guy's bedroom.
Right.
No, picture.
Yeah. I mean, and then all of a sudden,
I may go to my buddy.
Every little moment.
I may go to my buddy and go, hey, man, your dad jerks off to Dan's mom? What are you talking about? Well, he's got a picture of her in the bedroom. I mean, Dan's mom's All right.
Eventually,
it's not that hot.
Eventually, it would have to just come out. I mean, you're dealing with teenagers here.
Yes.
The hormones and
yes,
everything else.
yes.
Your brain's not fully formed until you're 25, and even then, I could say probably not.
All right, we'll take a moment. Speaking of immaturity, I will play you another Saturday Night Live bit that I think you'll be able to.
Two. They had two good ones.
Yeah, they had 2 or 3 that
that's a record for Saturday Night Live.
That I actually I got a chuckle out of, and I think you will get a chuckle out of this one as well.
Remember the Super Bowl that went? It was in New Orleans. They had the power outage. It was the last Ravens Super Bowl against the Niners.
Oh yeah.
And they had the power outage.
Yeah.
And it just shows you how these guys just don't prep, don't do any work, just draw a paycheck. These guys make millions of dollars to basically do nothing but rely on their experience. So then all of a sudden they get exposed and realize, we got to kill 35 minutes here. And they had to keep throwing it back to Steve Tasker.
Yeah.
And Steve Tasker's like, you can't back to me. How about back to you? And he keeps throwing it back to them. And let's talk about 2 broke girls coming up. And Dan Marino, you had the fair this past week. Remember?
That's funny. Oh, Danny.
Yeah.
Our friends over at Woodcliff Hotel and Spa have fantastic Valentine's Day packages. They've got the Valentine's Day dinner package. Indulge in a night of romance and culinary delights. It's only about 2 weeks away, Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. With our exquisite Valentine's Day dinner package at the Woodcliff Hotel and Spa, the perfect setting for an evening filled with love and enchantment. Your room of choice. You get breakfast, dinner, champagne, sparkling wine, the chocolates that are handcrafted again, and the rose petals. I think this is fantastic. They even have Valentine's Day spa packages that you can check out. It's all at you can see it all at woodcliffhotelspa.com. woodcliffhotelspa.com. And we were going to have some packages to give away.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we will have that
Perfect
coming up.
for the holiday.
We will tell you on Wednesday how you can score that through the month of February with Billified. But first,